gamers out there and everyone watching this video who might have expected this video out of nowhere, but this is going to be something different because I'm going to be talking about 3 things specifically on 3 different categories that I need to talk on this video. One of them is talking about the exposing on NSGamesfree.com, the ones that you may have seen that has been promoted on YouTube ads or has showed up on your YouTube recommendations, and some who actually managed to see the thing work for some reason. The second thing is, of course, the ideas and of what this new so-called Switch successor is going to provide, or switch to Super Nintendo Switch or something. And the third topic is how to be smart on what games you download on the eShop, specifically for digital users, because in order to expand their libraries, because in terms of libraries, they want to know how to expand their library on software than rather than the usual in terms of, you know, buying the usual physical copies and then having to display it on their bookshelves in a way that's like sort of different in a way. But this one is for digital users who need to see this video on how to be smart on using your Nintendo funds and ways on how you can be smart in terms of how you're doing this. This one is going to demonstrate 3 of them. And the first thing is, of course, talking about, now you may have heard about the website that has been shown on your phone, on YouTube, or anywhere else on your device that you're using, on this thing known as the NSGamesfree website, which, as you may have noticed, that this thing is a complete scam. As you can see here, that this is the considerate where you always end up looking, because you know there's always this part where this website is considerably actually a scam, because if you go here, you know you're going to get this website that's going to provide you with a bunch of different Nintendo games that are so-called free, but it turns out that it's actually fake. Because it turns out, so let's say you want to get a specific game that you haven't, that is already out, and you want to try it out for yourself, but you can't because you don't have the amount of money to get it or the amount of funds you have. So let's say you want to get this. And the thing here is that when you get this get for free, it wants you, what it does, it's going to give you information to sign into your Nintendo account or whatever account you use, like say like your Google account or other social media platforms. What it does is that it turns out that the user or the hacker or whatever, or any people who ended up getting this, when you insert this information onto your device, it goes to the person, let's say like, I don't know, like some random hacker or something that tries to go into your identity profile and stuff like that, and then it turns out to be a joke. Because even once you do that, and then you have to go to the final step, you have to go through 2 different things. You have to download 2 separate apps of what they recommend to you, and then some of the apps they say will only take like a few minutes or a few seconds. Some will have to even create a new account. And then there are some apps that contain you have to be not a recent one, like you already made an account already. This one but then it turns out once you do those circumstances, you don't get the software you want for it, because I remember trying this a few times and it did not work for me. It turns out that is actually a massive scam and a complete waste of time, because it's not worth it. Do not go to that site because it is a joke. It completely ruins your time and you get no benefits afterwards. Next, we're going to be talking about ideas for this Switch successor, or for the rest of the video of what we're going to be calling it is the Super Nintendo Switch, of what it's going to be. Now, first things first, we got to lay on some ground rules first, because one thing to notice is that we have to make sure that Nintendo does not repeat their cycle from what they did back in the Wii U era. And that's one thing's for certain, is that 1, it cannot be an accessory additionally for the original Switch. 2, it has to not feature some sort of playback ability. And 3, it also has to have a better sort of online system that isn't overpriced. And one of the first things to know is I want this thing to have better details, and more cool features. In terms of the cool features, I want there to have, like, first things first, having, of course, a wider screen similar to the OLED models, and having maybe enhanced speakers, maybe a bigger kickstand, although that's already been done from it, but maybe at like 128 gigabytes instead of 64 from the OLED or 8 from the original Switch. Make it like much bigger so that people who buy free games or other sort of software on their system, and in terms of taking pictures or replays on the album, then it's all been saved and stored up along with the save files of specific softwares they own. Then have a much longer battery life, because longer battery lives give more hours of playtime, and the more playtime equals the less ability of having parental controls whatsoever. And another thing to add is more likely maybe backwards compatible, because I know back in the 3DS era there was a capability where you were able to play DS games on the 3DS. So why not do the same thing with the Switch, with the Super Nintendo, for playing other Switch games? Because hopefully the cartridge inserting would be the same, and just a different form of the size in a way, so that it could stay compatible with its counterpart. And another thing I want to point out, what it also should look like is in terms of the way it's designed, and maybe of what the controllers or Joy-Cons per se is, maybe having more different random color selections from what the Switch already did. But a major real key feature is adding more streaming platforming services, because on the Nintendo Switch there was only 4: YouTube, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and Funimation. That's basically 2 anime streaming softwares and Hulu and YouTube. But back in the Wii and Wii U era, we had YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. Why not bring back Amazon Prime and Netflix back, but also bring in some new platforms as well, like from the likes of Peacock, Tubi, HBO Max, or Max for short, and Disney Plus. Maybe even Paramount as well, when you think about it, because there needs to be at least more streaming platforms so that people could watch other good movies that we could see on consoles. Because I know Xbox and PlayStation have already done this before, and aside from just what cable has done, because I know streaming platforms are the new generation of where we live in, and not many people are going to live with DVD players and old tapes and all that. So there has to be some new softwares added of streaming to add. I mean, we're not counting Just Dance Plus as a streaming platform because it doesn't exactly stream it, so that's just another key element feature. There's also additional where we also have to add maybe some better pricings on some titles. And in terms of what I think of what games should be on that console, it really depends. One thing's for certain is that we are, of course, going to be getting maybe 3 more Mario parties for that. Maybe another sequel to like Superstars, maybe a third category to Super Mario Party, because I actually loved Super Mario Party, but I am really hyped for Jamboree, just to let you know. And we might get another set of Mario RPGs. One thing for certain, we are going to get maybe a remake of Super Paper Mario, and maybe another brand new Paper Mario title after Origami King, because along with the upcoming 2 new Mario and Luigi games after Brothership, even though I'm pointing it out right now, but you never know, because with Alpha Dream bankrupt, but then a new company is already taking over its spot now, and Kevin Afghani improving as Mario, Luigi, and the other characters, it's really great to know on this category. Along with the future of the upcoming Mario plus Rabbids 3 and 4, because with the success that is both Kingdom Battle and Sparks of Hope and their DLC passes, it's just amazing how this is literally the new set of Mario RPGs in that. We are also going to get maybe some brand new 2D and 3D Marios. That's another thing, because a lot of people really want to see a Mario Odyssey 2, which I think we will eventually. Along with the brand new open world Mario game, because I know Breath of the Wild is one of them, and you got a sequel with Tears of the Kingdom. We're also probably going to get also another really cool and new Zelda title in this process. And we might even get some new 2D Zelda as well, along with some more Zelda ports, like I say, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. will not make it for the Switch, but they'll probably make it for the Switch Successor, possibly. And I think the same thing could be said for the Metroid Prime 2 and Echoes as well, because with Metroid Prime 4 finally confirmed, I don't think it's possible for the other collections to also make it onto the Switch. But I think we're also going to maybe get also another 3D Kirby game, since Forgotten Land was so successful that we might get another one that is also around like the same 3D World similarity, and maybe even get 2 more 2D Kirby's. I think they may even do like maybe a port of Triple Deluxe or Planet Robobot, maybe do a double set in a way, or maybe just make it a brand new game like Star Allies in a way. In terms of other ones, I don't know about the Splatoon series. Maybe there could be a Splatoon 4, because I know the data mines have been saying it. But I don't know how they're going to do it for the 4th installment. I don't know. Maybe they're going to use like maybe Splatsville or something, but who knows? Maybe they might take a different category from what Nintendo led. We're also maybe getting Luigi's Mansion 4, although there's still a lot of creative things of what they could do after the success of Luigi's Mansion 3. And we already know Luigi's Mansion 2 HD or Dark Moon HD is already available around this month. We may even get another Peach title and maybe some other iconic titles. We may even get an Ultimate Deluxe per se, and the upcoming Mario Kart 10 in the way. And in terms of what just happened recently when we got the new Emio game, which actually turns out to be a new Famicom Detective Club game, is actually going to be amazing, as we may be expecting the next Famicom Detective Club for the Switch Successor, Super Nintendo Switch, along with maybe getting a sequel of ARMS and maybe another brand new IP in the process. We'll probably even get a few Animal Crossing games, like maybe 1 or 2, maybe a remake of an older title. Pikmin 5 is a maybe, although I think it's still too early. They might show it around during the late 2020s at the time process being, along with maybe a brand new 2D Donkey Kong and an additional new 3D Donkey Kong after 64 was the last thing they ever did, and maybe even create brand new Pokemon titles of what they're gonna do. Maybe make some old ports along with some new versions. I don't know what they're planning to come later, because I think the people at Game Freak are probably running out of ideas for names of what to call the next Pokemon title after the failure that was Scarlet and Violet, and maybe even add a few other new ones. Maybe create Pokken Tournament 2, and maybe even add maybe some new form of series. Maybe they could even add maybe they could bring back Sin and Punishment, Rhythm Heaven, Pushmo, F-Zero. I mean, there hasn't even been a new F-Zero in a while. I mean, F-Zero 99 doesn't even count as one. It's more of like a battle royale. We could even expect there to be also maybe a new Kid Icarus or a Kid Icarus port. Maybe even Punch-Out. Maybe, because I feel like Punch-Out has been on the way for far too long. It may come back one more. And Star Fox, Mother, Golden Sun, 1080 Degrees, Wave Race, Custom Robo, Chibi Robo, all those other IPs that are falling should get like one more reunited before they come to their close, and then we get brand new IPs. We might even get another Ring Fit game aside from Ring Fit Adventure. Maybe I wouldn't expect a Nintendo Switch Play or a Nintendo Switch Party, because that would be weird as like a connection with Switch Sports, and I think there's probably going to be a Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, which I think it's probably going to be cursed than the previous title than before. But as hopefully as they add both back baseball and boxing again, then the game's good. And as for other key element features, is that you can keep the folders, as long as you make the online system better and have like a little bit of rolled back netcode in a way, along with other things. That's all for now. Now comes the final part of the video. This is how you want to know how to be smart on how you want to purchase your specific games on the eShop. What you want to do is you always want to make sure that when you're on the shop, either when it comes to, you want to always notice that there's always gonna be these little big tags that you see on feature that is a sale, because these sales are useful when you want to download a specific game for a lower price. Sure, there are some physical retail stores could do the same thing, but these share a better benefit because you can end up getting more of the Nintendo Switch Gold points, which you can use it to make a cheaper pricing and then increase on your funds. Another thing to notice is that you also want to check on your great deals category. The great deals tells you the amount of items that is showcased on what games are at a lower price that you can play for some part on what you want to try out, and then others you don't want to see at the same time, because it tells you by see the product information page for sale details, and it will tell you all the information you want to know on a specific game that you want to search for that is on sale. Sure, there are some best sellers that are also around that sale price that have that deal as well, which you can also get. And then there's also the way, and to all those people who like getting their gift cards, eShop cards with download codes, it's always useful because then it's going to transfer into your Nintendo bank account, because this is where it keeps all of your information, because this is where you're going to have all of your funds. Aside from the gold points you also obtain, you could also use your credit card and PayPal account. Now, PayPal is a bit different because there are some apps like, like Solitaire Cash and Bingo Clash, which they say are PayPal approved, which could work for this benefit because in terms of the ads that keep saying that these specific mobile games will make you lots of money an hour or so on, and it's PayPal approval, these could work on the benefit and makes you purchasing specific games much easier and much better than just going to your local retail store and just buying random eShop cards just so you can upgrade your bank account. But it doesn't leave that much, it's more of a waste to your money and not much intel. Now, sure, there are some things that there are like full game downloads and eShop cards where you select the full game download because it's a multiple choice question. Like say you get the full game select download between like Mario Kart, Smash Bros, and Mario Party, or Animal Crossing New Horizons, Breath of the Wild, and New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe or something. I don't know. Those are just prime examples of how I see this working. Now, it's important to also have like a wish list on what games you always want to try out, on what piques your interest, because it's always important to keep in touch with the specific games that you want to keep a notice about, whether it's coming out or it's already out and you're waiting for the price to drop for a much better deal. Redownloads are a better, different way, but that depends if you already played it or deleted the software. It sort of acts very similar to the mobile system on your like tablets and phones, where you delete an app and then it has like the cloud symbols sort of thing where you can like re-download the software. It sort of acts the same benefits as your regular phone systems, where you see like the little cloud icon that acts very similar to the mobile icons, that's very similar in a way. And that's just prime examples. But as we already know of what's next to come for the future of Nintendo, of what's next. But anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed this very helpful yet very useful video that needs to be shared for everyone to have. Continue to love, continue to support the channel as much as you can. Make sure to comment, leave likes. Make sure to also hit the notification bells as mentioned. And I'll see you guys in another video like this. And don't worry, the upcoming future Just Dance Seasons video will also be on the way very soon. Take care, and God bless you.